This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. I'm Catherine Inskip, your editor and host. Episode 691 is our 51st Little Wonders collection, with a theme of unusual pets. Our first story is How to Safely Store Your Dragons by Mariska Pichette, which was first published in Flash Fiction Online in December 2023. Mariska Pichette is a queer author based in Massachusetts. She has published more than 300 pieces of short fiction and poetry, appearing in Strange Horizons, Clarkesworld, Pseudopod, Podcastle, The Deadlands, the Magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction, Fantasy Magazine, Asimov's Nightmare Magazine, and many others. Her poetry collection, Rivers in Your Skin, Sirens in Your Hair, was a finalist for the Bram Stoker and Elgin Awards. Their eco-horror novella, Every Dark Cloud, is out now from Ghost Orchid Press. This story is narrated by Eve Upton. Eve Upton is huddled in the darkness of the cupboard. She appears to be scratching words into the floor. Upon closer inspection, they say, Nolite te bastardes carborundorum. And now, we've a tale to tell.
How to Safely Store Your Dragons by Mariska Pichette. Never on the mantelpiece. Their love of fire will soon create a blaze not even your magic can subdue, climbing the ceiling in search of a chimney, chewing insulation and nibbling the rafters to nothing. By the time you return from the store, arms laden with spell, candles and kale, of your cottage only smoke will remain, so please, never store your dragons on the mantelpiece. Likewise the kitchen. Sure, they look cute in the linen drawer, and they will love you for gifting them such a warm, well-stocked place. But soon enough, you'll find yourself extracting wriggling green bodies from decimated cereal boxes, masticated potato sacks, hollow squash skins, and soggy cartons devoid of even a half cup of orange juice. You will learn the hard way how hungry dragons can be. Knowing this, the back garden may seem a prudent choice, but remember your veggie patch. Think of your poor kitchen and keep the dragons inside. We understand this is your first foray into dragon keeping. Perhaps you inherited your dragons, or perhaps you found them on the side of the road, a rat king of squirming, keening coils. It is just as well you asked our advice. We've been keeping dragons for longer than history records. Their benefits are obvious: luck, prosperity, security. Dragons have impeccable senses of smell and can easily distinguish their keeper's voice from that of a stranger. In order to realize their greatest potential, however, it's imperative you offer them the best home possible. A dragon once stored will grow, and once grown it becomes so much more than a simple talisman. When they're young, the bathroom isn't a bad option. They love water and catch all those pesky moths that try to eat your towels. But beware. When they grow older, their play becomes more than a nuisance, and no one enjoys calling a plumber for assistance. Some things not even magic can fix. The attic will do for half the year. It's spacious, filled to the brim with tasty spiders and nutritious mice. Stack clementine crates and line them with unwashed wool. Dragons love lanolin, sure to keep their scales shiny. Supplement their natural diet with henbane and chamomile tea sweetened with honey. If you're worried about fire, a cast iron pan is indispensable. Take all your spent candle nubs and drop them inside. When your dragon feels the urge, they will confine their pyrotechnics to the pan, and you'll find the attic pleasantly scented on summer nights. But in the autumn, an exodus is necessary. Dragons are, after all, cold-blooded creatures, and they hate hibernating almost as much as they love snoozing in your box of junk jewellery. leaving tiny teeth marks on the edges of your pewter pendants. In October, bring them downstairs. Get them comfortable in the cat tree. The cats never use it, you know, more intrigued by bottle caps and the box it came in. Give them toys and water dishes and shredded newspaper bedding. Make sure they can see the television. They love period dramas and will binge Planet Earth every 2.5 weeks. Remember to keep their food bowls topped up with mincemeat so they don't go looking for extra, more destructive snacks. Some enjoy a hamster wheel, never a ball. Others a scratching post. Lucky the cat tree is fully equipped. When they're settled, make sure to smudge the space and switch on the entertainment before returning to the kitchen to clean up the mess they made this morning. Wipe the counters. Sweep the floor with your favourite broom. As snow begins to fall outside the window, put your tools away. Change from your luscious black gown to the faded plaid robe you've repaired more often than the plumbing. It's winter, after all. Time to snuggle up in blankets your grandmother quilted in the 50s and remember. You may be the only witch in the house, but you're not alone. Chittering from the corner lets you know you've done well. In caring for others, you've gained so much more than luck. On the couch, put your feet up, cocoa cradled in your calloused hands. Let the murmuring television lull you. Don't worry, your dragons will sigh little fires to keep your toes warm.
I absolutely love dragons. Large or small, ferocious or friendly, I think they're mythology's answer to cats writ large. But as with any pet, they do take some caring for, even the friendly kind. Responsible pet ownership, in the loosest possible sense for that word, means doing what's best for your companion, especially when they're not in a position to choose for themselves. The reward? Well, they're part of the family, aren't they? Our second story is Felix, Master of the Night, Saves the World Again, by Jeff Stamen, a Cast of Wonders original. Jeff and his wife have moved to the centre of the US and no longer have wilderness lakes to canoe or trails to ski. Thankfully, they still have those 2 cats in need of frequent mediation. His fiction has appeared in daily science fiction, unidentified funny objects, toasted cakes and other markets. This story is narrated by Tina Connolly. Tina Connolly is the author of the Iron Skin and Seriously Wicked series, the collection on the Eyeball Floor, and the Choose Your Own Adventure Glitter Pony Farm. She has been a finalist for the Hugo, Nebula and World Fantasy Awards. She co-hosts Escape Pod, narrates for Beneath These Skies and all 4 Escape Artists podcasts, and runs Toasted Cake. Find her at tinaconnolly.com. And now, we've another tale to tell.
Felix, Master of the Night, Saves the World Again, by Jeff Stamen. Narrated by Tina Connolly. The new place smells so old. What was that creaking? Ooh, look at all those boxes in the living room. So many things could be hiding among them. Best night ever. Felix spends the night exploring, while Mom sleeps restlessly, settling down beside her a few hours before dawn. In the morning, Felix rolls over, half aware of Mom stirring. Fingertips find his tummy and scritch him awake. "Good morning, sweetie. You were kind of loud last night, weren't you?" That makes no sense. Felix is a master of the night, soundless and unseen. There had been an incident with a shoebox, but that was self-defense. Mom stops too soon. "Bad dreams or no, a lot to do today. Let's get you fed." Felix is already out the door and headed for the kitchen. Mom spends the day unpacking. Felix spends the day preemptively defending her from crumpled papers that are about to attack. Except when napping. Security work is exhausting. Felix does become alert when Mom carries blankets to the hall closet. He sees fear in her back as she pauses. She jerks the door open, but the closet is empty. She sets the blankets on a shelf and closes the door before Felix can investigate the new space, leaving him to sniff at the gap under the door. It was just a dream, sweetie. Mom is sleeping fitfully. Felix is among the boxes, stalking monsters. They are fierce, but in hiding, no match for a true predator. At the sound of claws on wood, he knows it well. The monsters are forgotten. He creeps into the hall, tracking the sound. It's coming from the closet door. The scratching is mom height. Felix hunkers down, sniffing at the gap under the door. It smells older and mustier than it had before. Oh yes, something is definitely in there. He wiggles up the tension in his hindquarters, staring at the gap. Movement. Felix lunges. His claws find something hard, but it's jerked away. He stuffs both forelegs under the door as far as he can and paws frantically, trying to find prey. He pauses. Something taps his leg, quick, and is gone. He paws frantically again, then rolls onto his side, reaching as high as he can with one paw on the other side of the door. More scratching. Oh, just out of reach. He strains, pawing higher. Felix leaps back as finger bones poke under the door. They clatter back and forth before disappearing. Again, they clatter back and forth and disappear. He lunges both forelegs all the way under again. As if from far away, he hears someone giggle. Last night was even worse, Mom groans. Mom isn't making sense. Best night ever. He might even sleep in before breakfast, just a little. He catnaps here and there until evening. Mom unpacks some more boxes. Felix, I'm sleeping with the door closed tonight. Are you coming in? Is she kidding? Whatever. Have a good night. He hunkers down to watch the closet door. It's the boxes. They distract him with their non-movement. Then a particularly treacherous one traps him inside, so if there's scratching in the closet, he doesn't hear it. But he does hear the closet door open. Felix goes still. Something shuffle-scrapes along the floor in the hall. He erupts from the box and runs for the hall, coming to a stop in the doorway. It's a woman. She takes a lurching step towards Mom's closed door. Her hair is wild, her arms and legs skeletal. Her dress has more holes than Felix's best blanket. She raises a hand, and the finger bones grow very, very long. Oh! Felix leaps out and bounds between the woman and the bedroom door. Back arched, he rubs against her leg and purrs. Back scratchers! The woman gazes down at him, a pale green light shining in her eye sockets. With a bony foot, she scoots him to the side, but Felix is having none of it. Right back at her shins, he turns up the charm, mixing trills into his purr. After entirely too long, the woman reaches down and scratches his back. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. The woman drops to the floor in a rattle of bones, sitting cross-legged. Felix climbs into her lap, purring and uselessly kneading the bones under her dress. She continues to scratch him, her fingers normal length again, but hitting all the right spots. As if from far away, he hears cooing. Good morning, sweetie. Were you standing guard all night? Thanks for that. I had one bad dream, but otherwise it was a good night. A good night? Best night ever. Let's get you fed, says Day Mom. Felix is already out the door and headed for the kitchen.
It's often said that cats domesticated themselves. They chose to join the human campfires in the days of prehistory and have shared our homes ever since. Anyone who's ever been owned by a cat will be familiar with their varied personalities and their uncanny ability to start at something that's just not there. Or is it? What I like about this story is how Felix, our protagonist, demonstrates that cats are just as ignorant of the rules and hierarchies of horror as they are of everyday life. Something weird and invasive? Hiss at it for a few weeks and grudgingly tolerate its presence. A skeletal monster? It's good at back scratching. Something strange and totally alien reaching the walls of reality? Well, we domesticated the humans, why not this too? That's cats for you. More ego than sense, but I do love them. Join us again soon. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. Your donations pay our authors, our narrators, our servers, and our staff. Please consider supporting us with a monthly donation through either PayPal or Patreon. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, request us on Spotify, and consider the stories we publish for award consideration. There are lots of ways you can help. You can join the discussion on the EA Discord and visit us on Blue Sky at castofwonders.org. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is brought to you by editor Catherine Inskip, assistant editors Alicia Caparasso and Amy Brennan, associate editors Rebecca Arn, Tanya Adelit, Kit Kalestow, Cup Jacob, Adri Joy, Becca Miles, Ray O, Samuel Poots, Emma Smales, Denise Sudell, Rin Yi and Angela Zazueta. Our audio producers are Jeremy Carter and Andrew Jack. Cast of Wonders is part of the Escape Artists Foundation, a 501c3 non-profit, and this episode is distributed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. The Little Wonders theme music is Neversus by Alexei Nov, available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.